Welcome back to the program, Keilani Elizabeth Rose.
What's good, guys?
What's good with you?
I'm having a beautiful day over here. I'm actually coming to you from unceded Tsimshian territory in Prince Rupert, BC.
Oh, it's
Excellent.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's really
I'm up
great.
here. I'm up here for the weekend, and so I just came back from a lovely walk and frolic in the trees.
Yeah, good frolic in the trees. That's always a good time. Definitely.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely get more into that in a little bit. But before we do, I want to talk about Shoresy season 2. Of course, it is back. Now it's available on Hulu too. And the team is really trying to get that seniors tournament going, eh?
I feel like this season was a lot of like get them focused, get them accountable.
Yeah, no, definitely,
We want
definitely.
that record. We really
Yeah.
want that record.
Yeah, you
So
gotta you
how?
gotta you gotta keep a close eye on all the sluts. That's the
Yeah.
that's the real
Well,
key
the
there.
sluts be fucking this season, so
Yes.
a bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's been amazing too behind the scenes just because we've had so many new cast members come join us. So the family is growing. And it's all jokes in the show, but like even behind the scenes, it's really cool to have so many fresh, talented faces coming on board and expanding the family in that way.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Now, like we actually had a chance to talk with Tassia earlier today for an interview. We'll be playing in a couple of weeks on the show. And one thing I brought up was what I find really cool about this show, and it's something that Jared and Jacob do with Letterkenny as well, is that they put their characters in a lot of scenes that mirror other scenes. That it's like a lot of stuff that happened in season 2, there's a mirror image to it in season 1, but it's slightly different. And I felt like the one scene that really stuck out for me was when this time when you guys went to see the league, you brought Shoresy with you. And so what was it like again? Because again, that was probably the going to visit the league in season 1 was probably one of the most fun scene with you guys with like the stern warning followed by, okay, let's look at the pictures of the sluts. This time around, it's a defense of one of the sluts and you guys have to, put her up to task. How different was it doing that kind of scene with Jared right in it?
That's really sweet. Like it definitely changed the vibe. I feel like having him there uh to kind of defend and also keep under control because we have that stern moment in the office where we're like, you do not speak. We do the talking, okay? And so there's that kind of like tension, like is he gonna keep it together? And then of course the lead in, which really sets us up for comedy because we have that whole conversation in Nat's office about about Danis being so sexy and wanting to get roughed up and just the whole thing like leading up to it really I feel like sets us up for success to have high stakes in that scene and like really like you know leading into even the final moments of the scene with the league where we talk about all aspects of the game and Nat is just going in about really bringing those aspects and like the values that people come to see and enjoy, how Shoresy is really like the one fighting for that and like keeping that alive. So it was cool. It was really cool to see the evolution with our visit to the league this season.
Definitely.
And it was
Yeah,
really cool to see the gang again, like
right.
Monique and all those three. They're just such a delight to work with. So it's always a treat.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was commenting about the fact that in this show, it's very much about Shoresy and the hockey and all that stuff. But one of the things that I've always really appreciated about the show is that even though it is that all of it, it's one of its successes is how all of the other characters get time to breathe. You guys get to do things. You may not get something in one episode, but then like an episode or two later, you guys you might get a really big scene, and then it kind of like it all plays out. I got to assume for yourself as an actor, like especially in that kind of a situation where you're, obviously Jared is the show. Like he's Shoresy, but you all get your chances to shine and show who you are as not only characters, but as also as actors. So, you know, is that something you really you know, enjoy and appreciate about a show like this? Is that you are given that where you may not on, say, some other shows that are out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's always really a great thing when you feel like you can have that agency with your character in a sense, and like really come to the table with contributions and have those contributions be considered or implemented, you know. Jared's really, really good about that. Especially because the more that we work together, the more that we can pick up on the rhythms and the patterns that he likes to write in for us and for our characters and between our characters. And so sometimes I'll catch a moment where I'm like, oh, we have this opportunity. You just set it up. You just set it up right there. And he'll be like, oh yeah, like throw it down. Let's go. So it's cool. And you made me think of one other thing. Like it's just but I feel like the thought just flew out of my head.
Well, it's okay. It'll come back to you. Definitely. You know, all good thoughts return at some point.
That's right. When they're meant to.
That's right. When they're meant to, exactly, at the right time. Of course, the last time we had you on the show was July 1st, 2022. And shortly after that, a very big thing happened in your life, a very tragic thing happened in your life that led you now on a journey of a lot of reconnecting with your roots and your people. Are you okay with talking about it here?
Thanks for asking so gently. Yeah, I really appreciate the tenderness for the trauma, because it was a really like sacred moment. It definitely feels like I've come to be able to see it as a gift for sure. And I'm grateful for the direction that it's sent me on. That would not have been the trajectory otherwise. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy that was the last time we talked.
Yeah, it was like just a couple of days before. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So it's been a lot of time at home with my roots lately. I went back to school. I'm back at university, which is kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
And something so meek, I feel like. And you know what? Maybe this was the thought that I was missing before, like a full circle loop around, because when we talk about our characters showing up and like having that balance and play within the story, it's cool because the more time we spend building relationships with each other and the more time Jared gets to know us, and like the amount of consideration that he had for me last year when I was going through sort of that big healing stretch and ongoing. But I started working on a project that's for my community and really close to my heart. And it's called the Clately 2 campaign, which means Two Rivers Water. And it was in honor of the fact that we're from the river and born water protectors, and also the fact that our reservation still does not have sustainable clean drinking water. And so I was talking with Jared about all this stuff as it was going down, right? And I was like, we got to do a fundraiser, like we need, you know, this, and we're, you know, we've got this much money from here and we need this much money from there. And then it was so funny because we get to the scene with the league, back to that again. He's got me written in like we're 25K closer to the goal or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we had this conversation in real life. Not necessarily about the hockey, but about the water. And just it's really, really cool to see the care and the attention that gets written in for whatever personal journeys that could be running parallel to the story that we tell on Shoresy. So
yeah, of course. And of course, with this time which you're spending with your family and with your people, you've gotten a chance to learn the language, correct?
That's how we say yes.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, I have been. I'm so excited, you guys. Like, let me just nerd out with you for a minute, or
nerd away, man.
For a minute.
Yeah.
So I just found out a couple of weeks ago that I got approved for the First Peoples Cultural Council grant for the Youth Empowered Speakers program. So now I'm working one-on-one with one of my elders as my mentor to do a language immersion. So I'm really getting to even a deeper level of learning my language, and it feels amazing. It feels amazing, and I'm so happy. And it's one of the things from this direction that wouldn't have been as strongly a part of the picture right now if July 4th wouldn't have happened. So yeah, I'll be practicing. I'm trying to think what I could practice with you right now. Here, I could teach you how to say, "How are you?"
Okay.
And so I just found out a couple of weeks ago that I got approved for the First Peoples Cultural Council grant for the Youth Empowered Speakers program. So now I'm working one-on-one with one of my elders as my mentor to do a language immersion. So I'm really getting to even a deeper level of learning my language, and it feels amazing. It feels amazing, and I'm so happy. And it's one of the things from this direction that wouldn't have been as strongly a part of the picture right now if July 4th wouldn't have happened. So yeah, I'll be practicing. I'm trying to think what I could practice with you right now. Here, I could teach you how to say, "How are you?"
Okay.
And
Okay.
So you go dainto.
Daito.
Dainto. There's an N there.
Oh, dainto. Dainto.
Nice. That means how.
Dainto.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then
Okay.
if you want to say "I'm well," you say "sunasto."
Sunasto.
Beautiful, guys.
All right.
Good.
Dainto.
All right.
Sunasto. Okay. Got it.
And that's in Clately dialect of Dakel.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so that's the language of the Two Rivers Water?
Yes, it is.
All
Yeah.
right.
And it's cool because wrapping it back even into the show, the fam is so stoked back home. And I think, not to give anything away, because I know we've just heard the announcement that we're going in for a season 3.
Season 3, yeah.
But I've been collabing with our amazing costume designer, Ginger, and she's been so lovely about welcoming in representation from what's, important to us. So I get to rock my Clately flag this coming season. I got some duck health earrings, so we'll be dripping. We'll be dripping.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, and that brings around another point about the show that I've and you can speak more obviously better about it than I ever could. But it seems like there is what you're indicating, that there is this willingness and a desire to properly show, the cultural backgrounds of First Nations, people, that properly within the context of that show, but just giving that so that you can see it on screen. And I just wonder if you could talk about how important something like that is, to your people.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I got to take a big inhale for that one, because it's like an expansive thought. It just feels really, really good to walk into the First Nations Center at UNBC and have one of my professors, who is also a duck health woman, tell me that her son, she walks into the living room and her son is watching the show, and he looks up at her and he goes, "Yo, Mom, this girl's duck health." And I'm like, it's cool, because I didn't grow up with that, and to feel the excitement, to be able to create and be part of co-creating space and stories where Indigenous youth from today can look and see themselves. I feel like there's no words really for that, And the other thing that's really cool about it is having contemporary representation. I think that it's really, really, really important when we look at historical stories and period pieces from the past, and seeing all the lessons we can learn from that. And that's beautiful. And I also think it's really important for us to be able to see what modern natives are up to and looking like and rocking out, and because there's incredible Indigenous fashion designers, jewelry, artists, and all of those aspects we get to play around with our character, and it's really what we look like and what we walk like today. So that it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah, and it's like what I find amazing is that you're always finding new ways in various forms and mediums of entertainment to like to get the word out about that, to you know, teach people about your people and stuff like that, and represent. Um, and you know, you've done a bunch of different things. I know that also you were in the short film Breathe that just did like I believe a festival circuit. What is that film about?
That film is written and directed by one of my best friends named Cody Kearsley, who people might know from Riverdale. And he's a Métis artist, and it's a story about addiction. It's a story about the struggle to find sobriety and stability. And really, what we wanted to accomplish with it was just to create compassion around what that experience feels like, whether it be for the person who's in the experience and struggling with the addiction itself, or whether it be for people who love someone who struggles with that, whose life is also affected by that. So it was a really wonderful experience to be part of, because he also has a dance background like me. So I think the original idea came from a dream that he was having, and wanted to create this experimental space with dance. So the finale of the film is this really intricate and gorgeous sort of experimental movement piece where we hired a bunch of professional dancers that played the characters that we choreographed this incredible movement with. And shout out to Goodrich Productions, two of my other best friends that are incredible choreographers and dancers. So it was really just like a coming together of all the arts and creating compassion for the experience of addiction. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. I'm always impressed with the stuff that you're involved in. You like there's always it doesn't seem like you get involved in anything that doesn't have, you know, some depth to it. You know, there's always a depth to what you're going for, including Shoresy. You know, Shoresy, of course, it's got heart. It's got a lot of heart. And, you know, I know in about 10 days, 2 weeks time, you're going to be back in Sudbury shooting season 3 with the crew. And I know you're really excited probably to get back there. I know you can't give anything away, but I'm going to say after watching season 2, loved it. But again, I was sitting there going, every scene between Miguan and freaking Sanguinet, there's 6 other people in the scene. I want to see these 2 kids have a nice night out.
I know, right? Just like a nice little private sando, something.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't even give anything away if I wanted to, because I haven't seen the script yet.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But yeah, I'm definitely hoping for some more exploration in that realm too, because it's really fun working with Harlan. We get along. You know, him and I really jam out about res life and like what we want to do for our communities and for our moms. And his mom was actually a really big help for me during the Clately 2 campaign, because she is one of the main reason why his community has clean water. So it's just a really cool family dynamic overall.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And
Harlan is just a sweetheart. Like we've talked to him and he's just such a sweetheart, such a good kid. Like him a lot.
Yeah, when you get up there, Keilani, I would say that once you start seeing some of the scripts, and if you don't, if there is no scene with you and Sanguinet, you got to go take Jared, and you got to pull his tarp off and give him a couple quick jabs, just straighten him out.
Yeah.
Like that's you got to set the tone.
Set the tone. Exactly.
Set the tone. You know what? Better yet, get the gyms to straighten him out. And
exactly.
There you go.
That's why I got the gyms.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh man.
Oh man. So much gold. And I have to also say, like, I feel like I'm going to ask you guys this, but I know this is not the way the interview works, but like my favorite, I was going to say, what's your favorite scenes? Because I feel like for me, there's favorite scenes left, right, and center. And some of my ultimates are when I'm watching Jared and Camille. And it's just like their dynamic back. They're so heartwarming.
Oh, yeah. No, it's great. For me, though, I got to say some of the best moments are the ones that take me by surprise. Like in season 2 here, specifically near the end, one of the ones with the gyms where they're in the locker room, and the third gym, he's got a lot to say in this one, and he gives like a really rousing speech that even's like, I'm sorry, I'm not done, and he continues. That one took me by surprise. I like that.
That was good. That was a good moment.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with Andrew. Like a lot of times it is the unexpected stuff, because that's one of the things I really love about this show is the humor that comes from the place you're not expecting. And and you guys are telling stories that are not 1980s comedy hockey show type
Yeah, they're
thing.
not stereotypical
No.
hockey stuff. Yeah.
No, like you guys are telling stories, like whether it's the stuff on the ice, like with Shoresy and the boys, you guys, like everybody, like with, you guys in the office, like your own characters, like everybody's, like I said earlier, like you guys are getting chances to shine. And it's those interactions that I find are some of the greatest things to watch, but also just like you guys talking to each other. Yeah, it's just like it doesn't feel like a script that I'm watching. It just feels like I'm just standing in a hallway as you guys are just walking down, having a conversation like a normal people would. And that's one of the things I love about the show a lot. But also, to be fair, anytime Mig and Sanguinette are in a scene together, like they just like, you just want to just hug both of you because you guys are so cute.
Cutie.
Right, it's just like I do love that as well, but that's what I would say. But yeah, the humor from the unexpected places for sure, but I just love that you guys are finding ways to tell stories in like what feels like a very real way.
Totally.
Yeah, no, definitely. Of course, really, I'm excited for you guys to get back there. Really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. Can't wait to see what happens in season 3. Hope that you have a mild winter there and you get to do, some nature walking, some enjoying it out there. Because I know it's lovely when it's nice, but when it gets really bad, it's like, oh, gotta stay inside, sort of thing.
Well, crazy story. When we were there for season 1, me and Harlan, we wanted to go out on the land.
Yeah.
So we found this park. I think it was called Kiwi Park. And it's supposed to be like this really nice trail. Some people were even cross country skiing and stuff. And so we take a cab out there. It was quite a ways. And we get there, we go for our stroll. The sun's setting. We're like, we should probably call a cab and get back. And then we were so far out that none of the cabs wanted to come and get us. And it was really cold. It was getting really cold at that point. And I think we ended up having to call somebody for backup, like one of the production folks, because we got stranded and and the sun was down and we were waiting out there and we're like,
oh my god, yeah, that wouldn't have been good. That would not have been good. It's like Shoresy shut down. Well, we lost 2 of our cast members. They're frozen solid. Oh my god. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Of course, for people who have been listening, how can they give out, like is there any place they can go to support the Two Rivers Water charity?
Yeah, totally. We started a website. It's Clately2, which is spelled LHEIDLITOO.com. And we're just going to put updates on there and information and ways to get involved and join the movement.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Again, Elizabeth, Keilani, so great having you on. You're just a ray of light. You know that, right? You are just such a positive person, and the journey you're on, it's just you're like a hero, like for people, and I look at the things that you do out there. I'm very moved by it, and I want you to keep going.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. It's
all right.
Yeah. Onwards. Let's go.
That's right. Let's fucking go, boys. All right. Well, thank you so much, Keilani. Have yourself a great night.
Thanks. You too, guys.
Bye.
Bye.